What if the biggest threat to the Dutton Ranch isn't Rob, but the people standing closest to Rip? The episode 7 trailer just dropped, and hidden beneath the threats, confrontations, and emotional standoffs is a chain reaction that could push the ranch into its most dangerous battle yet. Every choice made in this trailer feels like a loaded weapon waiting to go off. And by the end of this video, we'll uncover why Rip's next move may save the ranch, or destroy everything the Duttons have left. Episode 7 doesn't feel like a setup episode. It feels like the moment before the storm. The trailer is packed with tension, but what makes it truly fascinating is how every scene seems connected through one central idea. Consequences. Not one character is acting freely anymore. Every decision is creating another problem. Every attempt to protect the ranch is generating a new enemy. And at the center of it all stands Rip. For years, Rip has been the ranch's ultimate weapon. When problems appeared, Rip solved them. When enemies crossed the line, Rip ended the threat. Simple, effective, usually terrifying. But episode 7 suggests something has changed. This time, Rip isn't just reacting. He's planning. And that difference could change everything. Let's start with the trailer's defining moment. The confrontation involving Rob. On the surface, it looks like another showdown. Another enemy. Another threat to the ranch. But look closer. The trailer deliberately frames Rob as someone who believes he has leverage. He's not acting scared. He's acting confident. That's unusual, because most people who challenge the Duttons eventually realize they're in over their heads. Rob doesn't seem worried. Why? Because someone may be feeding him information. Think about it. How does Rob consistently stay one step ahead? How does he appear prepared for moves that should be secret? The trailer quietly hints that the ranch may have an internal weakness. And if that's true, Rip's battle isn't simply against Rob. It's against betrayal. That's where things get dangerous, because enemies outside the ranch are predictable. Enemies inside the ranch? Those are the ones that destroy families. Now let's talk about Rip. One thing stands out immediately. His demeanor. Rip isn't charging forward emotionally. He's studying, watching, waiting. That's terrifying, because the most dangerous version of Rip isn't angry. It's patient. The trailer suggests he's building a counterattack. Not a physical fight. A strategic one. He's gathering information, testing loyalties, identifying weaknesses. And here's where the theory gets interesting. What if Rip already suspects there's a leak? What if some of the conversations we see in the trailer aren't genuine at all? What if they're traps? Imagine Rip feeding different information to different people, then waiting to see what reaches Rob. It's exactly the kind of ruthless intelligence move we'd expect from someone protecting the ranch at all costs. And if that's happening, episode May 7th become less of a ranch drama and more of a psychological war. Which honestly sounds way scarier. Because fists heal. Trust doesn't. Quick question. Has anyone in television history ever looked more dangerous while saying absolutely nothing than Rip? Seriously. Half the trailer is just Rip staring at people. And somehow that's more intimidating than a guy holding a shotgun. Now, let's follow the consequences, because that's where the trailer becomes fascinating. If Rip launches a counterattack against Rob, everyone around him is forced to choose a side. And that's exactly what the trailer seems to be setting up. Characters who once appeared united suddenly feel uncertain. Conversations feel guarded. Expressions feel hesitant. People aren't sharing everything anymore. That's a major warning sign. The strongest ranches aren't destroyed by enemies. They're destroyed by division. The moment people begin questioning leadership, cracks appear. And once cracks appear, opponents exploit them. Rob likely understands this. He doesn't need to defeat Rip physically. He just needs to isolate him. Turn allies into doubters. Turn doubt into conflict. Turn conflict into chaos. It's a classic strategy. And judging by the trailer, it might actually be working. The emotional pressure is building on everyone. Fear creates mistakes. Mistakes create opportunities. And opportunities create disasters. Episode 7 appears ready to unleash all three. One scene in particular deserves attention. The trailer hints at a confrontation that feels deeply personal. Not tactical. Not business. Personal. That's important because personal conflicts rarely end cleanly. When emotions take over, logic disappears. And once logic disappears, people make choices they can never take back. The show has repeatedly demonstrated this theme. Every major conflict starts with somebody believing they're doing the right thing. Then one bad decision creates another, then another, until suddenly lives are ruined. Episode 7 appears ready to continue that pattern. If Rip discovers who's helping Rob, the fallout could be devastating. Not because of violence, because of what the betrayal means. Imagine realizing someone you trusted has been contributing to the ranch's destruction. How do you forgive that? How do you move forward? Maybe you don't. And that's exactly why this confrontation could become the emotional centerpiece of the episode. Here's the bigger picture. The trailer isn't really about one conflict. It's about war. Not necessarily gunfights. Not necessarily physical battles. A war for control. A war for survival. A war for loyalty. Every scene reinforces the feeling that the ranch is approaching a point of no return. The Dutton Ranch has survived countless threats. Developers, politicians, corporate enemies, personal vendettas. But episode 7 suggests this challenge may be different because the attack is coming from multiple directions at once. External pressure, internal distrust, emotional fractures, strategic manipulation. Even Rip may not be able to stop all of it. And that's exactly why the tension feels so intense. For the first time, victory doesn't seem guaranteed. Now here's my biggest prediction. Rip's counterattack will work. At least initially. He'll expose a hidden truth. He'll identify a betrayal. And for a brief moment, it will appear as though the ranch has regained control. But that's where the real danger begins. Because Rob may be expecting exactly that. What if the exposed betrayal is only the first layer? What if Rip discovers one traitor only to realize there's a larger plan already in motion? That would completely change the game. And it would explain why the trailer feels so ominous. The atmosphere isn't one of victory. It's one of inevitability. Like everyone is marching towards something they can't stop. A confrontation. A betrayal. A sacrifice. Something huge is coming. And episode May 7th end with a cliffhanger that finally answers the question hanging over the entire season. Can the Dutton Ranch survive this war? Or has the battle already been lost? Because after watching this trailer, one thing feels absolutely certain. Rip is preparing his most dangerous move yet. The only question is whether he's walking into a victory or a trap. What do you think happens in episode 7? Is Rob secretly controlling events from behind the scenes? Or is there really a traitor inside the ranch? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Dutton Ranch reviews and predictions. The war is just getting started.